The Cooper and Anthony Show.
So one of our listeners contacted us and wanted to know how we feel about this. She is dating a guy. She met this guy. His name was Jason. And she really liked him. Like, they had a couple of dates. And, you know, like, your first couple of dates, you don't know the person's last name. You just have a couple of dates. His name is Jason, you know. And by, like, the third date, she wanted to know a little more about him, wanted to Google him, whatever, and found out that his name was Jason Mason.
Jason Mason.
And she was like, I cannot date him. That is so bothersome. I can't be with a guy that has names that rhyme. It doesn't, I hate that. How could you, why would you name your son Jason if your name is Mason? Like, that's not funny. Like, were you trying to be funny? Did you want him to never have sex?
Jason Mason. Yeah, your parents have to be a little disturbed to name you Jason.
Well, I think this is more disturbing. So this is what I say to her. Her name is Chloe. So Chloe, this is for you. Yeah, Jason Mason, kind of annoying. I get it. I get that it's weird. Maybe if you get married, he'll take your last name, you know? Maybe you can do it like that. Or call him Jason M, like they do on The Bachelor. Jessica M, Jessica S, Jessica R, you know, that kind of thing. There's always someone named, it's always like 4 Jessicas. I was set up on a date with a guy named David. And I was like, oh, okay, David. Yeah, sure. And so I met up with him, and, you know, he wasn't really my type. I wasn't that interested in him, but he was a really nice guy. And I thought, you know, I want to introduce him to I have a friend that he's perfect for. So I had said to him, you know, obviously there's no chemistry between us, but I have this friend, Beth. I think you'd really like her. He's like, yeah, great, sure. I said, you know, give me your name and number, and I'll tell her about you. And if she's interested, she'll call you. And he writes down his name, and it's David Berkowitz.
No.
Yeah, like the killer, like the serial killer. His parents knew about David Berkowitz, a serial killer. They knew their last name was Berkowitz and decided to name their son David anyway, because this is a lot of years later. I mean, he was born in the mid to late 80s, so David Berkowitz was already a name that was out there.
Why don't you just call yourself Dave?
But it doesn't matter whether your name is Dave or David. With the last name Berkowitz, like, take your mom's last name. I don't care if her last name is Schmagegi. Like, David Schmagegi is way better than David Berkowitz. I mean, imagine, like, your last name is Dahmer. Are you naming your child Jeffrey? No.
Well, at least you can go by Jeff Dahmer. It doesn't.
Well, you know, because people are going to see, you don't do Jeff Dahmer. It's not like your option is like, you know, JJ or J Dahmer. No, if your last name is Dahmer, you want to name the kid something like Aloysius, something that has nothing to do with Jeffrey.
At least go by Geoff or Jeff. Don't go by
Geoff.
Yeah, why do you? Some people name their kids Geoff. I don't understand that. They say it's Jeff, but it's not Jeff. It's Gigi.
It's still Jeff. Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. So if you were going to go out with a guy and his name was Frank Stallone, you would still go out with him. That doesn't bother you that much.
I think that must be tough for people. Like, if your name, I mean, I don't think anyone's named their kid Madonna, you know, since she's been, I don't know anybody named Madonna other than Madonna.
I guarantee people have named their kid Madonna.
I know a lot of people. I have never met anybody named Cher. I never met anybody named Madonna. I never met anybody named Eminem.
There was Eminem. There was Cher on Clueless.
No, but that's a character name.
But I guarantee from that movie, people name their kid Cher.
I've never met one. There are no other Chers other than there are no other Madonnas.
You know, the Clueless chick and the chick that sings Turn Back Time, that's all. That's all you know.
Right. There's no actual people with those names. That's my point. If the name is more famous than you will ever be, you'll never live up to that name. How do you name a kid Madonna and then your kid, like, I don't know, flunks out of medical school or whatever? Like, you'll never live up to a name like that. It's never a good idea.
Yeah, you call up their mom. How's Madonna doing? Oh, you know, she lost her 4th job this week. Oh, that's a good name to pick there. Yeah, glad you went with that.
The other one just won her 42nd Grammy.
Yeah, you could have named her Sarah, and she would have had a chance in life. But no, you named her Madonna. Good job.
Right.